feel like I say this over the course of roughly half the videos I do, more than half the videos I do at this point. I don't really know. The downside of doing these outside, well, let's start with the positive. The positive of doing these outside is that you can physically tell I am in the ballpark. The downside of that is that it's usually really cold, and this is honestly colder. I gotta let Ice Cube get his thing off. There's like a high school game that's going on here between two schools from somewhere in Indiana. I don't know. Anyways, the positive of doing these outside is that you can physically see that I am in the ballpark. The negative side is that it's really cold. It was really windy today, but that's neither here nor there. I guess it kind of is here or there, or whatever. The Giants beat the Chicago Cubs 3-1 a day after they beat them 14-5 by scoring 9 runs in the top of the 11th inning, the most runs that they have ever scored in a singular extra inning in franchise history, or at least since 1901. Not going to get into that game specifically. If you would like more of the details, if you'd like more specifics, go check out the story that I wrote yesterday. But the one thing that I will mention from yesterday's game is that Justin Verlander is still without a win. He's still searching for his first win as a San Francisco Giant. And that was due in part to Ryan Walker, who, similar to Anaheim, entered with a 2-run, well, it was a 3-run lead in Anaheim, but he enters the top of the 9th inning yesterday with a 2-run lead. The Giants are leading 5-3. I'm going to let that do its thing. Anyways, so, and I do want to just say, I think if I was a high schooler, I would really appreciate the opportunity to pitch in a Major League stadium. But anyways, so Ryan Walker inherits the 2-run lead yesterday and is ultimately unable to secure the lead. And technically, Eric Miller was the one who got saddled with the blown save, but Ryan Walker being unable to finish the job with the first 5-6 batters that he faced, it was really him who in earnest kind of blew the save. And so you fast forward less than 24 hours, the Giants go into the bottom of the 9th inning here at Wrigley Field with another 2-run lead. They're leading 3-1, and famously the most safe lead in all sports. Robbie Ray had pitched excellent up to that point. He allows just the 1 earned run over 6 innings, and that 1 earned run was on a fly ball that Pete Crow Armstrong hit to left field on a really windy day that Elliot Ramos couldn't handle, which manager Bob Melvin said that he doesn't blame Ramos for not being able to handle. The offense didn't produce a ton of runs compared to what they did yesterday, but they did get RBI. But they did get RBI hits from Lamont Wade Jr., Wilmer Flores, who had a 3-hit game, and Christian Koss. Camilo Doval pitched a scoreless 7th. Tyler Rogers pitched a scoreless 8th, and so now you enter a very similar scenario to where the Giants were yesterday, ahead by 2 runs, Ryan Walker on the mound with the opportunity to complete the save, and unlike yesterday, he's able to do so. Was a little bit anxious when he allowed, or there was a little bit anxiety rather, when he allows the leadoff single to Carson Kelly, and Walker even told us after the game that he was kind of like, I can't even get any of these weakly hit ground balls to find gloves, but immediately following the single that he gives up to Kelly, he's able to induce a 6-4-3 double play off the bat of Justin Turner, and then gets Nico Horner to ground into a game-ending ground out thanks to an excellent defensive play from Matt Chapman. More music. But we talked to Walker after. But when we talked to Walker after the game, it wasn't just the typical platitudes of I was, thankful to bounce back. And he was thankful for having the opportunity to bounce back. He said that he was thankful that Melvin continued to have faith in him, that he went to him, again, less than 24 hours after blowing the save on Tuesday night. But he spoke at length as to some of the mental battles that he's had to go through over the course of his Major League career. And he said that the mental game was one of the areas where he really struggled early in his career. But he has gotten better as his careers went along, and he's credited a couple coaches, Melvin being one of them, or his manager, Melvin being one of them, Clay Rapata being another one of them, as well as bullpen coach Garvin Alston and pitching coach J.P. Martinez. And he said that, while those early struggles were something that were difficult to have to endure, he is, in a way, appreciative that he had to go through these struggles because it prepared him for ultimately what this season has been, which, as we've discussed, hasn't exactly been the easiest season for him. Against the Los Angeles Angels, he inherited a 3-run lead, ends up allowing 4 earned runs, only recorded 1 out, and I think it was Joe Adell who had the walk-off double. And then in his very next outing, he inherits a 4-run lead against the Milwaukee Brewers at home, but is only to get 1 out, allows 2 runs before Melvin has to go in and summon Camilo Duvall to finish the job. And as things stand right now, his ERA on the season is 6.08, which, considering what he was able to do, is very eye-popping. His FIP is somewhere in the low 2s, which kind of dictates that better days might be ahead. His BABIP is also abnormally high compared to where it's been over the first 2 seasons of his career. But going forward, especially after recording the save today, Walker is going to continue to be this team's closer. He has shown, especially last year, that he can be a closer, a very shutdown closer at the major league level. And as far as confidence goes, as far as the mental game goes, him being able to bounce back from yesterday's outing and record the save today was a much-needed step in the right direction.